Most people do not choose their lives. They drift into them. Days accumulate, habits harden, and years pass without a clear sense of direction. The saints would say this is not neutrality. It is a quiet decision to live without intention. And to live without intention is to allow the soul to erode unnoticed. Saint Ignatius of Loyola understood that the greatest danger to the spiritual life was not sin in its dramatic forms, but aimlessness. A life without a chosen end becomes vulnerable to every passing impulse. This is why Ignatian spirituality confronts the listener early with a severe question. What are you living for, really? Not what you claim, but what your days reveal. Chapter 1. The Comfortable Drift. Consider a man we will call Andrew. He is not reckless, nor is he particularly troubled. He works, fulfills obligations, and maintains appearances. From the outside, his life seems stable. From the inside, it feels strangely thin. Andrew does not wake each day with a sense of resistance or resolve. He simply responds. Messages dictate his attention. Obligations determine his priorities. Even his rest feels accidental, more like collapse than choice. He is not unhappy, but he is not directed. This is the condition Ignatius feared most. Not open rebellion against meaning, but passive surrender to whatever comes next. Chapter 2. Aimlessness and the Erosion of the Soul. St. Thomas Aquinas taught that every human act is ordered toward an end, whether chosen or assumed. When the end is unclear, action fragments. Energy dissipates. The soul loses coherence. Aimlessness does not announce itself loudly. It erodes quietly. Andrew notices this erosion in subtle ways. His patience thins without explanation. His prayer feels unfocused. His decisions feel reactive rather than deliberate. The saints would say his problem is not effort, but orientation. Without a final end, even good actions fail to form a meaningful life. Chapter 3. Ignatian Indifference and Freedom. Ignatius introduced a principle that many misunderstand: indifference. This does not mean apathy. It means freedom from disordered attachment so that one can choose rightly. To be indifferent is to be unattached to outcomes that do not serve one's true end. Health or illness, success or obscurity, comfort or hardship. None are sought or avoided for their own sake. Only fidelity matters. Andrew finds this unsettling. His life has been organized around comfort and avoidance of difficulty. Indifference feels dangerous. Yet Ignatius insisted that without it, the will remains captive to impulse. Chapter 4. Intention as a moral discipline. Intention is not a feeling. It is a discipline. Aquinas taught that the moral quality of an act depends not only on what is done, but on why it is done. Andrew realizes how rarely he names his intentions. He acts out of habit, expectation, or pressure. The examen, which he begins to practice, reveals this clearly. His days are full of motion, but thin on purpose. Forming intention requires pause. It requires the courage to ask before acting. Toward what end does this lead? Without this question, life becomes reactive by default. Chapter 5. Purposeful Prayer and Teresa of Avila. Saint Teresa of Avila warned that prayer without intention becomes empty repetition. Purposeful prayer, she taught, requires attention, honesty, and resolve. Andrew's prayer had long been unfocused. Words spoken, thoughts wandering, time passing. Teresa would not condemn this, but she would not excuse it. Prayer, like life, must be entered deliberately. Andrew begins to pray with a single intention: to know what he is avoiding. This prayer does not comfort him immediately. It clarifies. And clarity is rarely soothing at first. Chapter 6. Choosing amid distraction. Modern life multiplies options while obscuring ends. Distraction is not merely inconvenience. It is a moral environment. Ignatius understood that discernment becomes impossible when attention is constantly fractured. Andrew sees how easily his attention is claimed. Not by evil, but by triviality. Small impulses accumulate until nothing substantial remains. He begins to eliminate. Not everything, but enough. Unnecessary noise. Unexamined habits. He learns that elimination is not loss. It is protection of intention. Chapter 7. Final ends and coherence. Aquinas taught that happiness lies in the alignment of life toward its final end. When actions serve different ends, the soul experiences tension. Andrew recognizes this tension in himself. His work aims at security. His leisure aims at escape. His prayer aims at peace. These ends compete rather than converge. Ordering life requires choosing which end governs the others. This choice cannot be delegated. It must be made and remade deliberately. Chapter 8. Fidelity to the present moment. Jean-Pierre de Caussade taught that God's will is encountered not in abstract plans, but in fidelity to the present moment. This does not negate intention. It grounds it. Andrew learns to stop rehearsing future resolutions while neglecting present duties. Intention becomes concrete when it is embodied now. This fidelity steadies him. He stops demanding certainty before obedience. He chooses rightly where he stands, not where he imagines himself later. Chapter 9. Small non-negotiables. The saints did not rely on grand gestures. They formed their lives through small, fixed practices, non-negotiables that anchored intention. Andrew adopts a few: a fixed time for silence, a daily examen, a deliberate pause before major decisions. These are not dramatic changes, but they reshape his days. Consistency forms identity. Over time, these practices protect his life from drift. Chapter 10. Identity over impulse. Andrew begins to notice a shift. He no longer asks what he feels like doing. He asks who he is becoming. This is the fruit of intentional living. Identity replaces impulse as the guiding principle. Choices become simpler, though not easier. Ignatian spirituality aims precisely at this formation. A life ordered not by convenience, but by meaning. Chapter 11. Resistance and surrender. There are days Andrew resists intention. He longs for ease. He resents discipline. The saints knew this resistance well. Surrender, they taught, is not abandonment of effort, but acceptance of the cost. Intention demands sacrifice. What is not chosen deliberately will be chosen by default. Andrew learns to surrender the illusion of neutrality. Every day forms him, whether he consents or not. Chapter 12. Living deliberately. Living intentionally does not guarantee comfort. It guarantees coherence. The soul no longer fractures under competing demands. Andrew's life does not become simpler outwardly. It becomes clearer inwardly. His actions align. His prayer deepens. His attention steadies. This clarity is quiet, but firm. Conclusion: to choose or be chosen. To live intentionally is not an aesthetic preference. It is a moral responsibility. The saints understood that a life not deliberately ordered will be ordered by impulse, fear, or habit. Ignatian spirituality does not ask for perfection. It asks for choice. Again and again. In small, faithful acts. To live intentionally is to accept the weight of one's life. To refuse that weight is not freedom. It is drift. And drift, left unchallenged, becomes a decision of its own.